Hi there folks, and welcome back to Spring Powered South African Airgunner. Today I'm really excited for the next product on the review bench. This is the Kral Nemesis. And in what caliber, you might be asking? Well, there are actually three different calibers that this rifle comes with. A 177 barrel, a 22 and a 25 barrel. So you've got your choice between 3 barrels depending on the situation in which you live, or whether you want to do target shooting versus hunting at small, medium or long range, and the size of your target. So I'm really excited to see what the guys over at Pellet Guns have put together for me. So we're going to dive straight into the review. First of all, we've got to mount a scope. The guys over at Pellet Guns decided to give me a Discovery VT2. I believe it's a 3-12 by 44 with an adjustable objective, a side wheel parallax and an illuminated reticule. So I'm very excited to see what this rifle can do, especially that interchangeability of the calibers, switching between 177 and 25. Of course, this is built on the famous Kral internals. They've updated them, meaning now the full pressure is 250 bar. Yes, 250 bar. I'm not sure what kind of wizardry they're going on in there, but it is non-regulated. So we are going to get enough power to drive that 25 cal pellets downrange at probably respectable velocities. And then, due to the power adjuster that you do have on the Kral guns, we can turn that back down for the 177 and maybe for the 22, depending on the power output that we do get. So I'm really excited to see what this gun can do. So we're going to go over the contents of this magic little black box, and then we're going to mount the scope and take it out to the range. This is a brand spanking new rifle, so it's going to need some breaking in. What that means is the barrels will need to be leaded in and they will need to be broken in. From the machining process, there are microscopic burrs which are formed when they cut the lands and the grooves in the rifling, which means you have to push a lot of lead down range to even those out to get the optimal accuracy out of your airgun. So, I'm rambling right now. I'm so excited for this gun. Let's dive right in. Basic introduction done. We need to take a look at what these guys have put together for me, and I'm really excited to see. So let's dive right in. So most of the higher end Kral guns come with this here case, which is nice. Is it top of the line, best quality ever? No, but it's great to protect your rifle in the beginning. And oh man, there she is, the Kral Nemesis. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh yes, wow. So this guy over here, I think, has a 500cc bottle on. Full pressure is 250 bar. We've got our power adjuster, we've got our manometer, adjustable cheek piece, wow, that's really incredible, and a adjustable shoulder pad. I believe it will be adjustable for length of pull as well. This cutout over here is going to be really nice when shooting off a bench. You can really get your hand in behind there and control the rifle. I want to say firearm, but it's not. It's a pellet gun. And also, you do need to remember to have a Foster coupling fitted to your quick disconnect. This is not a Foster coupling, it's Foster-ish. It's got the same shape, but it's not quite the same. So this goes over there, and your scuba tank or your hand pump connects to this, but I do not want to be filling this with a hand pump. So beautiful walnut stock, looks to be the checkering is nice and grippy, and We've got a Picatinny rail to mount our optic to. We've also got a fully shrouded barrel, and you can see the two flats on the probe where you're going to screw that out to put in the new size probe for the different caliber. But first thing we've got to do is we've got to mount our scope. But before we do that, let's go over what these guys have included in the box. So you've got the rifle. Let's see what's in here. Alright, so in here we've got 6 different mags, and these mags are for the different calibers. So essentially you've got 2 mags per caliber, which is really nice. You don't have to buy additional mags, and I think that little tool was also in here to change the probe. Alright, there we go. Your different probes and the little tool to change that. Show you a close-up of this just now. Man, that is a lot of mags. Next up, we've got to install our scope. I'm going to show you how I do this to make sure that the scope is nice and level. Otherwise, you can forget about making adjustments and tracking through. So, let's get that straight on. So this is the Discovery VT2, I believe, and we've got some 1-inch high Picatinny mounts, and let's quickly see what the scope is. Ooh, that looks good. Brand spanking new. Man, that looks good. So it is a VT2 with side wheel parallax, and it looks like we've got 1/4 MOA adjustments. MOA versus mils, flip up covers, and it looks to be that we've got a sunshade as well. That is excellent stuff. So that's going to go over there once you've taken this off. Glass looks really nice and clean. Very well packaged, as you can see. Got lots of foam inserts holding everything together. Got a piece there that goes over this. Nothing bounces around while shipping. So the scope should come to you in perfect condition. We've also got a little card here which has all the information on. And then we've got a microfiber cloth for cleaning the lenses in case you got some dust on it. And it looks like it comes supplied with the Allen keys that you might need to use to adjust the turrets, and I don't know what else. The turrets. There's a big Allen key for the turrets and a small Allen key that is probably going to be used somewhere where you're not supposed to dig around. So, as I've said, this is a 3 to 12 magnification range. Very, very nice and smooth operated. Nothing is crunchy. And the side wheel parallax is stiff but smooth. So that's exactly what you want. Once you've set it, it's not going to go out. The turrets, nice audible clicks, very, very nice and crisp. The lockdown works like a charm. Let's check the windage. Also very, very nice audible clicks, and lockdown works like a charm. Then we also have illuminated reticule, and I believe this is red and green, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see. Does it come supplied with a battery? Yes, it does. I don't know if you can see that, but very nice and bright illumination. So the next part of mounting the scope is going to be deciding which way you want the scope mounts to face. This way or this way. It comes down to personal preference, and on this type of rifle I'm pretty sure it's not going to make much of a difference. These are good quality scope rings, so you shouldn't see any difference when putting one side and turning the other one the other way around. I've done this multiple times and no visual difference occurs, so they're pretty solid mounts. So we're just tightening the screws down so that the scope can't fall out of the rings, and then we'll adjust the eye relief in a second. Now we're just going to lightly tighten down the scope mounts onto the rail. Then we're going to flip up the covers and take aim. Right, so the scope needs to come a little back, and that is about perfect for me. So that is where I'm going to leave it for myself. Your experience may vary. Right, so now that we've got the scope on there, we need to now make sure it's level and not canted to one side or the other. Found this really useful to use a little bubble level indicator, which you mount onto the rail when you shoot longer distances, what allows you to see whether the rifle is canted or straight up and down right when you're shooting. So we're going to use this to mount the scope properly. So we're going to get the appropriate size Allen key. Right, that one should do the trick. And we are going to mount this on the rail. Doesn't matter where. Okay, and very important, you want to make sure that it's mounted on properly so that the lips are below the rail and you've not got it on skew. Otherwise, they would totally ruin your plans. Then, making sure the rifle is level. We are going to do one of two things. Either take a bubble level like this one and place it on top of one of the turrets, the flat spot. Then, keeping an eye on both bubble levels, adjust the scope to where it is level, and then check that the rifle hasn't moved. It moves a slight bit, so I'm going to twist it just a tiny amount. And that looks just about perfect. So now we're going to, without moving anything, tighten these down in a crisscross pattern. And this is too small of an Allen key, which doesn't help. So give it a half a turn, and then check. Has anything moved? No. Continue on. Half a turn, half a turn. There we go. Level, level. Perfect. And now it's up to you whether you want to leave that level on the rail for when you're shooting. In my case, I don't use it all that often, so I just take it off. Seems to be perfect. So one last thing that we need to do is to make sure that the scope rings are mounted nice and secure on the rifle. Just give them a little bit of a torque, not much, doesn't need much, and we are done. Scope mounted. Excellent stuff. Right guys, so I think I've got it dialed into where it needs to be. We've got our target downrange at 50 meters. So I'm gonna go ahead and load up on some H&Ms. These are 21 grain, and so far they are giving us the most consistent accuracy out of the 22 caliber barrel. So I'm quite excited to see what this guy can do at 50 meters. Should be really interesting. So I've got 12 more shots loaded up, and let's see what we can do. Alright, pressure has dropped, so we're gonna fill it up again. Take our quick connect it up, and just gonna fill it from here to 200 bar. It fills to 250, but from my testing, I think filling to 200 bar gives you a lot of weight options for pellets. The 250 bar for the 22 caliber barrel is just a little too rough. Well guys, if that doesn't tell you what this rifle is capable of, I don't know what will. One jagged hole, we've got one flyer that went a little bit low on our very first shot. That might be me, that might be the rifle. As I've said, brand spanking new rifle, it still needs to be broken in. So for the first 500 to 1,000 shots, I won't expect optimal accuracy out of this barrel. But we've got a target downrange or rather a gong, downrange at 100. And I want to see what this gun can do at extended range. After all, it is an incredibly powerful hunting rifle, in my opinion. It's got a very nice adjustable butt pad and a cheek piece that is adjustable up and down, which is going to give you that perfect alignment on your scope each and every single time. So if you adjust your parallax correct, you've got your cheek weld nice, you are almost guaranteed excellent accuracy. So the next part I want to cover is the barrel interchangeability. Now to do this, we need to go and fetch our little wrench, and we need to get our appropriate probe, and we'll take a closer look at those right now. What is actually the difference between these probes? If you pick them up and you look at them, they look pretty much the same. But you'll soon notice that the diameter of the main body is different. This main body is 5.5 millimeters for a 22 caliber barrel, and this is 4.5 for a 177 barrel. So it's very important to have the correct probe for the barrel. Otherwise, there would be a gap between the O-ring and the probe, and you'd either blow out the barrel O-ring or you'd have no type of accuracy at all. Today we're going to mount the 22 caliber barrel. So I'm looking for the larger of these two, which is going to be this one, the 5.5 millimeter, and I'll show you how to install the probe next. We've taken a closer look at the probes and the barrels. Now I'm going to show you how we can change the caliber in just a quick few easy steps. So first of all, unfortunately, we've got to take our scope off. So that's what we're going to do first. I believe the barrel that's on here is the 25 caliber. So we're going to change that out to the 22 caliber barrel. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the shroud after removing the scope. Shroud comes off, and we're going to set that to one side. Then the next part, very simple. There's a little Allen screw at the top of the breech over here. We're going to have to take that out. The rifle is unloaded for safety measures. We're going to take this little Allen screw out. Now I don't believe you need to take it out all the way, so we'll see. I've just loosened it, and out she comes. There we go. We now have a barrel-less rifle. Okay, so we've got our three barrels. They're all the same length, all the same size. The only difference is the internal diameter, which then determines whether it's 177, 22 or 25. So lining them up like this, you can pretty obviously see this one is the 25, we've got the 22, and what looks to be the 177. So today I want to mount the 22 caliber barrel. So we're going to take our barrels and we are going to take a 22 caliber pellet and see which one it's going to fit. That one's 177. This one is going to be too big, and this should leave us with the 22. Yes, so it just wants to fit into the breech end. This is our 22 caliber barrel. So to put the 22 caliber barrel into our air rifle, what we need to do is we need to change out the probe to the 22 caliber probe. How do we do that? Very simple. They supply us with a little tool. This tool is used to remove the probe, and I'll show you guys a close-up on how to do that. We've got a little key and we've got our probe. To remove the probe, you're going to make sure the rifle is unloaded and the bolt is all the way forward. There are two flat spots, which you can see right over here, and at the back there's one as well. So we're going to insert the key and turn this to loosen up this bolt. There we go. Probe can come out. The probe cannot come out towards the back of the rifle. You need to tip the rifle and allow it to fall through this channel over here. So that's exactly what we're going to do next. Lift up and allow it to fall out. And there we go. We've just successfully removed the probe. Right, so to install the probe, what we need to do is we need to once again drop it in from the front side. I'm going to drop it in there, get it started, and just, there we go. So now we can see that the probe is there at the back. So we're going to get it lined up, give it a little twist of the fingers to get it started. Make sure not to cross thread this. If you do, you've got big problems. Okay, and once you've got it started, you're gonna have to use the little wrench again and start tightening this down. And once you get to the end, you're just going to give it a little snug. No need to over tighten that. And then we can open the probe, cock the hammer back, and install our barrel. So installing the barrel is simple as well. First of all, we are going to make sure that our O-rings are on. Let's see if this thing will focus. Alright, so we're going to make sure our O-rings are on, and you can see over here is our transfer port. Got two O-rings, and we've got our barrel O-ring on the inside over there. Make sure all of those are in place, as well as our little divot, which is at the top there. You'll see there's two of them. I believe that locking screw over here mounts to the front divot. So I'm going to insert this barrel into the action by simply sliding it in, getting it lined up, sliding it in. Right, and now we've got to tighten down this Allen screw while feeling for that divot, because obviously the transfer port is at the bottom, so you need to line that up with the transfer port on the barrel. Otherwise you won't have an air rifle, you'd have a giant 500cc bottle of useless air. Right, so we've got our barrel in. I'm going to once again make sure that our divot is at the top. Like so, and we can now lower this Allen screw, twisting the barrel left and right like this, twisting it while screwing down the Allen screw, and then you get to a point where you can feel it bottoms out, and that's where you're going to leave it. And so that divot locates the barrel in the receiver the same way each time. which is going to allow for some repeatability with regards to the accuracy and the zero of the rifle. So we're going to decock this and get ready to go out into the field. Right, so we've got the 22 caliber probe, the 22 caliber barrel. We can now reinstall our shroud. Make sure your O-ring is at the front of the barrel off screen. We're going to slide over the shroud, and we've got threads back here which then lock in the shroud. Give that a little hand tighten and we are done. Next thing, mounting the scope, and then we're off to the range. First try. Oh my word, that is incredible. Wow, let me try to duplicate that. Oh my word, first shot. Okay, wait. Too excited now. Wow, that's incredible. What? Oh, and Bingo was his name. Oh. Okay, that's too low. So they're shooting 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 mils. I'm gonna hold there. Just wait for the Guinea-fowl to pass. So sad. Missed opportunities. Come on, come on, come on. I want to get back to shooting now, thank you. Thank you. Ugh, great. More. Come on. Pass on. Pass on. Come on. Come on. This is so frustrating. Come on, get away from the gong. Come on. Shoot. Alright, let's try that again. 4 mils holdover. Booyah! And look, the Guinea-fowl don't even know what's going on. Damn. I could so easily take out one. Not anymore. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I just want to say thank you to pelletguns.com for making this possible. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Stay safe and aim true. Cheers.